Hello, everybody. Welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about applying deductive reasoning. We went through converse, inverse, contrapositive, all those types of things in the last video, and now we're going to apply this reasoning. We talk about what deductive reasoning is, the law of detachment, the law of syllogism, and using inductive and deductive reasoning together. Okay, so we'll go through all of that, what that means. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Deductive reasoning, what is it? Using facts, definitions, accepted properties, and laws of logic to form a logical argument. Okay? In deductive reasoning, we are proving things in general. Okay, we're trying to solve things in general. Whereas inductive reasoning, we were dealing with just specific cases. But in deductive reasoning, we're using properties, we're using all sorts of things um, to argue things in general. Okay? Again, it says down here, differs from inductive reasoning, which uses specific examples. Okay? We're working with things in general, and you'll see what I mean as we get going here. Okay? First, we need to talk about the law of detachment. Okay? If the hypothesis of a true conditional statement is true, if the hypothesis of a true conditional statement is true, then the conclusion is also true. Okay? So, Mary goes to the movies every Friday and Saturday night. Here's our original. Okay? So, if we were to make this into a conditional, into an if-then, let's go ahead and do that here. So it would be if Mary goes, oops, let's capitalize Mary. Mary goes to the movies, then it is Friday or Saturday night. Okay? There's my conditional. Hypothesis true, conclusion true. Therefore, today is Friday. Well, if we know that Mary goes to the movies every Friday and Saturday night, and today is Friday, what can we say about Mary? Mary is going to the movies. Okay, now, this step is extraneous. You don't need to do this, and hopefully this step seems very logical. Okay, if Mary goes to the movies every Friday and Saturday night, and today is Friday, we can logically assume that Mary's going to go to the movies today. Okay, pretty simple. Pretty simple. Okay, let's look at the law of syllogism. This one will come back over and over and over again um, as we get into the proofs and different properties we can use. Law of syllogism. If A happens, then B happens. If B happens, then C happens. And if both of these are true, if both of these if-then statements up here are true, then you can say that if A happens, then C happens. So let's take a look at an example of this. Okay. If Rick takes chemistry this year, then Jesse will be Rick's lab partner. Okay. If Rick takes chemistry this year, then Jesse will be Rick's lab partner. Okay. If then, and it's true. Okay, it's true. If Jesse is Rick's lab partner, then Rick, and I didn't capitalize it, then Rick will get an A in chemistry. Okay, this one's also true. If Jesse is Rick's lab partner, then Rick will get an A in chemistry. Well, if we can assume this one's true and this one is true, so if Rick takes chemistry this year, then Jesse will be Rick's lab partner. That's true. If Jesse is Rick's lab partner, then Rick will get an A this year. Both of those are true, so we can assume if Rick takes chemistry this year, then Rick will get an A in chemistry. Okay? If Rick takes chemistry this year, that was the A up here, then Rick will get an A in chemistry, and that was the C. That was the C. If A, then C. Law of syllogism. Okay? We will go through many more examples of this in class, hopefully, and throughout the homework. Okay, good enough, good enough. Next slide, using inductive and deductive reasoning. Using inductive and deductive reasoning. Use inductive reasoning to form a conjecture. Use, and I didn't do this right. Use deductive reasoning to show that your conjectures are true. Use inductive reasoning to form a conjecture. Use deductive reasoning to show that your conjectures are true. What conclusion can you make about the product of an even integer and any other integer? Okay, let me get up to the board here. Computer typing, and let's talk about this. If I just start plugging in numbers, an even integer, 6 times any other integer, 7, what do I get? 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, I take any even integer, 4 times any other integer, 2, I get 8. I take an even integer, 10 times any other integer, -3, I get -30. What do we notice about all these results? That they're even, correct? So my conjecture here is that the product of an even integer and any other integer will be even, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Now, how do I show that using deductive reasoning? Well, can be a little tricky, but it shouldn't be too bad. And this is the basis. This is like if you go to college, this is one of the first proofs you'll do. It's something like this. Okay, we're going to do it here, not in proof form, but just kind of in general to show how it works. Okay. If I have a number n, any number n, it could be even or odd. How would I make it even? If I multiply that number by 2, will that make this whole thing together even? So if I had 7, I multiplied it by 2, that gives me 14. I now have an even number here. So 2n represents an even number. Okay? So I need to take an even integer and multiply it by any other integer. Okay? Well, we'll call the other number m, and this is exactly how your book does it. These are the same letters your book's using in the example. Okay? Well, if I multiply 2 times n times m, doesn't this number have to be even? Because no matter what the product of n times m is, I'm going to multiply it by 2, which we established up here will make an even number. Okay? So therefore, that's using deductive reasoning, showing it in general. No matter what number I pick for n, I can make it even. So I have an even number here multiplied by any other number, and it will be even because no matter what this product ends up being, I multiply it by 2, and any number multiplied by 2 will be even. Okay? Any number multiplied by 2 will be even. Okay? Real simple video today. Simple ideas. Deductive reasoning, what it is, just showing things in general. Okay? Proving a conjecture, essentially. Law of detachment. Okay, we went over that with Mary going to the movies. Mary goes to the movies every Friday night, and it's Friday night. Mary's going to the movies. Law of syllogism. If A, then B. If B, then C. And if both of those are true, then if A, then C. Okay, and we did the lab partner one there in chemistry. Okay, then using inductive and deductive reasoning. Inductive, you form a conjecture. Deductive, you prove that conjecture. Okay? We'll work some more of these problems in class. And hopefully we need to make sure we understand these two laws. That's probably the biggest thing. Understanding those two laws, when and how to use them. Okay? We will see you in class.